I'm so sorry, I was talking without my mic on, so I can say all of that again since I probably was not heard online. We'll call to order our October 23 meeting of the Public Art Commission, and our first order of business is to approve our minutes from the September meeting. So at this time, I will take a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve the September 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion about those minutes? They were sent out via email. All right, hearing no discussion, then all in favor of approving the September meeting minutes? Jeremy, are you in favor of approving? Awesome, all right. So the ayes have it, that passes unanimously. Next up, we have our liaison report, so at this time I will turn it over to Tanisha.
All right, hello everybody. First, we're going to talk about the art signage update. As you know, this year in our budget, we had a line item for signage, and you have seen those pop up around town at the sculptures. And right now, I'm working on two more, one for the William Massey sculpture in Dresden Park that's going to have English and Spanish on it, and one which is actually going to be, for now, our only mural-related signage, but it's going to be for the Babe Walls Mural Festival murals. Since it's such a large collection, I thought it was appropriate to do a sign kind of explaining what the festival was about and where they could sort of find the murals. So that when those two are done, I'm actually getting the proof, I believe, tomorrow. And once those are installed, that'll close out that line item in our budget.
Tanisha?
Yes.
The Babe Wall murals signage, is there going to be that, like a one big sign and then littler signs for each
It's just
mural?
the one big.
Okay.
And it's kind of by the tunnel. It's going to be by the tunnel. And it says in it what the festival is, and also says that the murals can be found on the wall and also on the columns, so that people know that those belong together. All right, William Massey sculpture ribbon cutting, we have a date, and that date is December 13th. I hope you will all come to that. It might be a little chilly, but it should be a good time. The restaurant that is being built out there, or it's a food vendor, not really a restaurant, should be open, so you could come for lunch. There's going to be the Dresden Park ribbon cutting at 1 p.m., and then at 2 p.m. we'll do the sculpture unveiling. We're still working out what we're sort of allowed to do in that space for the ribbon cutting. We would like to have some additional speakers and some additional vendors, but we're just not sure if we're going to move forward with that yet or not. Okay, and then I just wanted to go over, I know I already did a Chalk Walk review, but since then I've actually done my sort of post-event reporting, and I pulled some numbers that I thought were interesting and fun, mostly from Instagram and from these surveys, and I just sort of wanted to share those with you. So the one that I thought was really crazy is that in the 30 days leading up to the event, the Instagram page had 64,000 views and 452 profile visits, which is pretty darn good. And without paying for any ads on Instagram, the best performing post had 7.8 thousand views. So I think that's pretty darn good.
Just out of curiosity, do you know what that post was?
I do, but not off the top of my head. I'd have to look again.
Thank you.
Okay, and then so at Chalk Walk, we did a vendor survey as well as a attendee survey. They were two separate links and in the attendee survey. And you know what, I should have compared this to last year's, because I believe these numbers are close to that 50% of the attendees said that they had been to Chalk Walk before, and 50% were new, which I think is a good indication that our marketing is working. If we're still getting new people every year, I think that's good. And then just a couple other points, 58% returning vendors. The overall rating was 4.3 out of 5, and that was from the vendors, not the attendees. People really liked the communication and the booth price, which we've always kept our booth price low. And the lowest scores were in parking and load in and out, which we know is a pain point for Chamblee events, so that's pretty expected. And then 76% of vendors saw marketing for the event online, which is great. And in old business, again, I know that we already went over this in our last meeting and took a vote on it. I wanted to bring it back up because there's been 2 changes that that I just kind of wanted some awareness around. Well, actually, 3 things to note. One, our budget was increased a little bit because of the percentage that came into hotel motel. So we technically could have 170. So I had fussed around with the numbers a little bit and bumped up the Chalk Walk numbers, and then to get us up to 170. But then I found out that they actually wanted us to cut the supplies budget because that apparently something has changed and that's going to come out of somewhere else. So now this is what our number looks like and this is what our list looks like. So I'm not sure at this point, since it was already voted on. Elmer, do you have any recommendation for that? Do we need to adjust anything?
I mean, if there's no real substantive changes, if the overall numbers haven't, if you're not looking to add a whole other project or cut, a significant project that was already in the list, I don't know that there's really a need.
Okay.
Again, this is budget, and this is what you're asking council to approve, and
Right.
we get our red pens out next month.
Okay. So does anyone want to talk about this, or is that, okay?
Just to kind of recap for anybody who's listening in, what we had talked about last month came in at 160, I believe, correct? And so this is and this is not a change in projects, this is just an increase to 169 from 160 to account for the slightly greater amount that we will get. So there's no change in projects. So I think that, as Elmer was saying, there's no need for us to revote. And then I think we already did a motion to send this to City Council in the last month, correct?
That is my recollection, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Okay. All right, and then in new business, I wanted to give you guys a year-to-date financial update. Since we are looking at budgets, I thought this would be sort of helpful to look at. So this year we had 160 to spend. Year-to-date, we have spent 71. And estimated to the end of the year is 101,842. Now, one of the reasons that we haven't hit our full budget is due to the matching mural grants. And so that project has been rolled out, and we actually, tonight, we do have a business that has applied for the grant and is in the qualified census zone. So we know that we'll at least be giving out one of those. Unfortunately, I think what I've been told recently is that we actually need to get this on the city council agenda. After we approve it, it has to go through them. So it will tack on another month if I can get on that agenda. So that's just a small change in how the program's going to work. But if we can get, let's say we get another application before that November meeting, and we could have more than one on there, then maybe we could get our number up a little closer to what we were supposed to spend.
Can you speak to that a little bit more? So they come to us and we approve the application for them to move forward, and then it has to go to city council for them to also approve the application to move forward.
Correct, and it's not just, it's actually both. So the mural application
And then the actual artwork?
actual artwork and the grant now. So it'll be two. So if someone comes to us with just the mural application, we still need to pass it through.
Okay, so they have to approve the mural application, and then they come to us when they're ready with their art. We approve their art, or if we have changes to their art, whatever. And then once we approve their art, then it goes to city council before it actually goes up on the wall. So that's what I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay, and so if they come to us with an application that already has proposed art in it, then it could technically only have to go to city council once, correct?
yes, so we could say, the motion would basically be, we approve this to go to city council for final approval or something like that.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Is that going to be the case for every mural project going forward?
I believe so. I
So
haven't,
regardless of whether it's part of the matching project? Okay.
correct.
If I can, the reason being is PAC can't approve the expenditure of funds. They can recommend to council, just as with every other department when it comes to expenditures. The final expenditure, the approval of contracts, that all has to go through the city council. The PAC can't enter into a contractual agreement with anyone, because PAC is a,
Oh, Tom.
I'm good, I'm good. I'll follow on that one. Yeah. Well, that little lip, yeah.
Is that all the discussion on that one?
Can I ask a question? So what happens to the money that's not spent?
So unfortunately, it goes back into like the pool of hotel motel funds. We do not get to carry it over unless there's some wiggle room there if the project was started this year. So let's say we have a project that we have a PO for, and we pay one invoice against that PO this year. If it's finished by, let's say, March 1st, and we pay that ending invoice, it can still come out of this year's budget. It's just a little finicky.
But if there is money that we have not spent by that time frame, then it just returns to the city. It's not like carried forward into the New Year's budget.
Yep.
I'm good.
All right. So I wanted to bring up, since this is our second to last meeting, that we need to think about the open PAC positions as far as people who need to reapply to run again, and also for the positions here on the commission. So the three people that their term expires this year in December is Tom, Kelsey, and Paulina. Tom can run again for a 2-year term, Kelsey can run again for a 2-year term, and Paulina can run for a 1-year term. And the positions that will be open our chair because Brittany, sadly, cannot keep that position.
Yeah, I think this is my second year as chair, so thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% okay with that.
And then we, depending on who wants to stay or not, we also have vice chair and secretary. Polina, you have not been vice for 2 years, right? Okay. I didn't think so.
Yeah, I think Paulina and Kelsey both are holding their same positions that you had last year.
I was vice chair last year. Yeah, I thought I got bumped up.
Oh, okay. So then all three will have to be switched, okay? So everybody else start thinking about which position you want.
And then also just a reminder, end of next year will be my last term.
Yes. And so not only are these people, will you need to put back in a application, but also anyone else, if you, don't want to continue or you do, if you could let me know that by, November 15th or something, that would be great, because then I can start getting the applications and stuff ready.
And so can you also just talk to the process just a little bit, Tanisha, because even if folks want to continue in another term, we basically have to reapply, and then the city council will have to appoint us again. So there may be other applications that come in of other folks who want to apply. So I just don't want folks to think that it's just an automatic reappointment.
That is correct. So we will put up on the city website that 3 positions are currently open. We'll take applications for a certain amount of time, and that includes whoever on here wants to reapply. And then basically I go in front of city council and say, here's either the recommendations or let them kind of figure it out. And then they appoint. And I believe that happens at the January council meeting.
Yeah, we generally try to handle all the appointments for the year in
Yeah.
January, so we have the full crew for all the various positions.
And then our meeting, I think, happens like a week or so after council. So then the PAC January meeting is when we will vote to choose these positions, the officer positions.
Correct, yeah. Yeah. Here, just hit your mic on top, see if it goes bop bop. No, press it again. There you go.
Yeah. I can just let you know now, I will resign after this year. Predominantly is I've missed too many meetings. I don't feel that missing that many meetings, I'm really, should not really be in this position. And I plan on traveling more than I already have. And so my schedule is going to be much more erratic than, and away from Chamblee. So that's my primary reason. I also can mention about, I saw the meeting that I missed, and it just fell on my 50th wedding anniversary, and they threw a big ass party on that Thursday. And so I was really torn as far as, what to do, because that was very important to me. And I was very disappointed that the sculpture in the roundabout did not go forward. I do feel that Elmer's Milton, City of Milton discussion was a bit intimidating to the panel, and that just went on with some maybe it's not a good idea, although it was ranked 4th in popularity as far as something to do. So I was very disappointed with that. I hope that in the future you'll take serious concerns, and I scoured everything as far as risk and everything else, and so I really don't think there's a viable issue there. And I also, and I know that this is after the fact as far as the budget, but the $50,000 panel to have a board give you an art plan, encouraged, I guess, by the city council did this, is kind of like saying to us is that, we don't really trust that you have the vision or the responsibility to take care of planning our own art, which we're assigned to do. So that $50,000 expenditure was very needless in my, and that's just maybe knowledge that you can take with you in the future and whatnot. But predominantly, I just wanted to thank everybody, and I appreciate the ability to sit on this board. I took it very seriously. So, at any rate, I won't be on the board next year or the following year. Thank you.
Well, Tom, we will miss you, and we thank you for your service as we're all Chamblee residents here, and so we appreciate you giving us your time to help move the arts forward in our city. And also congratulations on all your travel, past and upcoming. Hashtag jealous.
Yeah, I mean, I just got back from Italy like 4 days ago. Yeah. Just for this meeting.
Hashtag jealous.
That I'm late for.
And then I do want to, I hear what you're saying about the City of Milton thing, and that was, it was a disappointing outcome for that. But I do want to speak to your other note about the master plan, and I would just like to say kindly that I disagree, that it is a needed thing. I think that, yes, we are the experts that the city looks to help advise on decisions when it comes to public art, but there absolutely should be a master plan that the city and its residents and this panel agree to, and it should be articulated. And the existing master plan, unfortunately, does need to be revisited, given the whole, just the global pandemic that happened right after that basically came into existence. And so I think it's going to be an important thing that the folks on this panel and other citizens in the city can be able to participate in and say, this is what our vision is for public art in the city, and this is where we want it to go. And so by that coming out of this panel, and this panel having a large participation in that, then we're able to make sure it aligns with what we think it should be in the city and what we think residents really want, and not just leave it to city council or city staff who may not have the expertise or backgrounds that we have. So just like to say that.
Okay, and I believe our guest is here to see this. This is the mural application. Is it pronounced Playa Cafe? Playa. And which is on Buford Highway. Hopefully you can see that map there. I know it's kind of small. It's 1 or 2 buildings before you get to food terminal right there. And it's a nice big wall. And the cafe is not open yet, is that correct? Okay. And although they don't have a sketch, I think the way they described the mural is, you can definitely visualize it. The name of the mural is We Are the World, or the proposed mural. And the visual concept is a mural depicting a woman embracing the world, adorned with flowers in her hair, featuring the phrase, "We are the world," in a blend of classic and cursive fonts. It's fairly big, 11 feet by 35 feet, and Michelle Key, who we have here in Chamblee, we have one of her murals, is the muralist who has signed on for this project. And then the note at the bottom is that This same application also came with a grant application, and they are in the qualified census tract, so it would be a no-match grant. And so I wanted to show some samples of Michelle Key's work. So the one on the right is what we already have. That was part of the Babe Walls Festival. And then some examples that I pulled off her website on the left.
Were any other artists considered?
Sir, if you can please step up to the microphone to address us. That way people, it's recorded in the part of the meeting. Thank you.
If you can just pull it up and make sure it's on, tap it.
Hello?
There you
Okay.
go.
I reached out to a few other artists, and they did not get back to me in time for me to submit the application, and I know it's time sensitive, so I had to go ahead and submit that as soon as possible before the end of the year and have her completed before the end of the year.
And I will say on their application, the artist did provide, what is that called?
Proposal?
No,
References?
references, thank you. But we also, you know, I don't know if we necessarily need references, as we have worked with her in the past and have a mural by her.
So just a point of just understanding the process, we would approve the motion, then for basically the application, excuse me, we approve the application, then it goes to city council, they approve the application. Then once the artist has her actual concept, her piece of what is actually going up on the walls, then we need to review that and approve it, and then that goes to city council and approve it, based on the conversation we had earlier. Is that correct?
It would be nice if we could take one of those steps out. I think if we approve it tonight, both the application and the grant, I would be willing to do the legwork to reach out to Michelle and have her get us a sketch that we can put in with the city council proposal.
But if we do it that way, there's no opportunity for this panel to provide feedback on that art.
Correct. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of trust there, just knowing her, I guess, her style. Yeah, and the description.
Would it be possible to share that with us via email and allow us to give feedback via email, or does that have to happen publicly, Elmer?
So for a case like this, I think it would be acceptable. You could make a motion to recommend approval of this mural project with final review of the artwork contingent upon approval of the city manager and the public arts coordinator, or sorry, forgetting your exact title.
Yeah, public arts manager.
And with that, yes, this body could review that in email, give feedback to Tanisha in advance before the final approval is put on the artwork. If an issue is found with it, at that point, you know, the city manager has the ability to put a pause on the project until those are resolved.
So we can give feedback to the artist. She would be able to make any revisions that we felt necessary before it went to city council. And then if city council or city manager found issue, then it would go back to them.
No, you're sorry. The motion tonight would be recommend approval of the mural project and then potentially recommending approval of the matching grant, with final approval to be given by city manager and final approval of artwork by city manager. So what that does is, at that point, our direct work is done. What isn't done is the staff end of things, which is where this group, the members of this group, can give feedback directly to Tanisha if there are issues, and that can be worked out before. Because none of this, the art itself won't be installed until there's that sign off from the city manager by that way. So,
Okay. I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to really understand this process. So
No, that's fine.
you are totally just being caught up in us trying to make sure, or at least me trying to make sure I'm understanding what is happening here. Because what did not happen with Babe Walls was approval of all of those different designs by city council or city manager.
that's
And-
correct, and that was also an issue in the process. That all should have been taken through review. Unfortunately, the way that the language currently exists about approval of murals is not great, and we do need to work on that. We've had the city attorneys looking at that a bit.
Okay.
And that's something that it's on the list of things for us to better formalize.
Okay,
So unfortunately, there is a bit of working it out as we go each time.
Okay.
As we try to find the best way. In general, with what we have in place at this time, the best solution is that the final approval before the work is initiated is to have the city manager sign off on it.
so the city manager signs off on it before it goes to city
No,
council?
No, if the city council is okay with the concept and what they've seen.
Uh-huh.
If there's mild changes that have to be made to the artwork, or that before the work is initiated at the property, the city manager signs off on that final review.
Can I ask what are the criteria that the city manager is using to give final review? Because as I understand it, the point of this panel is to provide advice on public art. And while the city manager, I'm sure, has many, many talents and skills, I don't know that art is among those. If it is, please correct me, but I'm just kind of would like to understand what criteria is the city manager using to offer final approval? Because if there is concern about style or concept or things that fall to this team, I just kind of wonder how that might play out.
So the city managers, and I don't have an exhaustive list available right now, but it's generally looking for issues where it is going to be incendiary language, incendiary artwork, legal issues, copyright infringement, things of those sort, technical things. Once it's gone through here, and again, this is where, in trying to keep the timeline that Tanisha has just laid out, this group is going to need to work through Tanisha, giving feedback through her, which she will then sit down and go through with the city manager. Well, and council, presenting it to council, if it goes in front of council in November. Without artwork, nothing's coming in front of council to be approved. So between now and that meeting in November, I want to say 15th is in my head, but something like that.
Would it be possible for
12th.
that language about like the criteria of what the city manager is looking at, can that be shared with this this panel so that we understand that? Because again, my concern comes to if there's concern about style or, you know, anything that's related to what this panel is reviewing art for, then where is the room for us to discuss that with the city manager and have, you know, a dialogue about, like, if they object to something based on something that we see as subjective versus objective?
That is it's a challenging question, because as this group is an advisory board, the level of authority is at a certain level. The city manager's responsibility is going to be on a legal level. So again, the city manager is looking at this from a legal standpoint. Does it, are we infringing on a copyright? Is it hateful? Is it incendiary, et cetera? That's really the criteria. The city manager is going to be relying on the feedback from this group to do that. If this group says we don't see any issues, or here's the concerns we do have, that's going to be part of that decision process. Then at that point, it goes back into a review loop.
Okay, so I guess then my follow-up question is, if we say we recommend approving it, and then city council doesn't approve it, city manager, or you guys really, if neither of you guys approve it, do you give, I guess, is there a way for it to eventually find the path to yes is kind of what I'm getting at. If you guys say we don't approve it because it's got incendiary language, it's not just dead in the water, right? We could go back and revisit the design with the artist to remove anything like incendiary language or legal concerns, and then take it back to the council, correct?
Well, it depends.
I'm sorry if I'm being difficult, I just really
No,
wanted to
it's-
understand
it's-
this.
It's part of the process, because we follow a similar process to what's handled for a variance request or a rezoning request.
Okay,
If the city council were to vote no on it, then that application stops.
okay,
That's it. They can start over at that point, but if it's a no vote from council on it, then the thing stops at that point. If the council votes to defer the items, as we have some concerns, we'd like
Okay.
some more feedback from the artist, from the Public Arts Commission, et cetera, then it's still alive and it goes back into that review loop.
okay.
So it's not a binary process. There are multiple paths.
Okay.
I have a question. Are there samples of arts that you do find okay? So that way I can give the artist a guideline of exactly what to do?
There are mural guidelines that we have that Tanisha can absolutely share, and she may already be familiar with them since she has worked with us in the city before through the Babe Walls project. And then any of the murals that you see up and about obviously have passed muster, so that would be an easy reference for her to do. And there is a place on the city website where all of the art is cataloged, so it's not like she'd have to drive around and look at everything. She could visit the website to see all of those.
Thank you.
The main rule that gets people caught up with murals is about signage. So you really do not want a mural that doubles as marketing for the business. That's the one thing that kind of goes
Yeah.
back and forth sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, as you've outlined here on the slide that's on the screen, the action that you need from this group is to approve the application request and the grant application with, and Elmer, I'm so sorry, because when you spoke, it's hard for me to understand, the acoustics in here are tough. So if,
Before we do that, is it within our means to table this until we have more applicants for this so that we have a greater diversity? I mean, this person is part of the group that
Tom, I'm
we
sorry.
already commissioned, and I think that, we owe it to ourselves to see a different look from the community. And there's only one applicant. I don't even know why it would be just one applicant.
Tom-
I would like to
So-
table that.
So I think we're conflating a couple of items. In general, when a property owner wants to install a mural on their property, regardless of who the artist is, part of the process is that they seek approval from they seek for an endorsement from the Arts Commission for that. And that's what is happening here. That is a separate issue from the grants proposal. Whether the applicant has talked to one artist or 100 artists isn't necessarily part of that discussion. And this is the challenge with not having example artwork to look at. But this has been the case with a number of murals. What was done at Block and Drum last year, maybe 2 years ago now, several other. So this isn't a competitive process as far as having a mural installed on this building. This is the building owner, the building's tenant, I'm not sure which, I'm sorry, is asking to have a mural installed and is seeking the approval from the city in order to do that. The grants process, that's a program from the Arts Commission. That's a question of whether or not we wish to provide matching funds to them for the installation of this mural.
Not necessarily pick the artist, it's just
Correct.
matching funds to see that,
Correct.
right? We're not picking the artist, okay?
Yes.
Just giving him approval.
Yes.
Okay.
And in the grant application, there's no language in there that says that they have to have multiple artists as options. It says that they can apply for the dollars, and then they can find an artist, and then once the artist has the concept, then we would approve that like we would do any other mural application. That's the
He finds the
concept.
artist.
Yes.
So they can find the artist if they have someone that they would like to work with or have identified, or they can ask the city for assistance with finding an artist, because we obviously have like contact lists of lots of muralists from various projects that we have done over the years and can help them find someone. So that's how it's written in the application. So I would not want to move the goalpost at least for this year. If this panel determines that we need to be a little more clarifying in the parameters of the program and in the application, then I think that we could revisit that for 2026. But I think because we've already published the application for this year, that we need to adhere to what is in there and not move their cheese, so to speak, since we did not say that they have to provide multiple artists for us to choose from. So, and like Elmer was saying, this is two different things. So we need to basically do two motions. One, to approve their request to put a mural here, and then the motion to approve the actual grant application. And then, like we said, Tanisha will work with the artist. They will provide sketch or some sort of concept visual that can be shared with this panel. We'll be able to review that via email and provide feedback via email before it goes to City Council for their approval.
You got it.
Thank you for being patient with us while we work through the process. It's
learning a
new,
lot
you're like our
myself.
guinea pig almost, but we are so excited for you to be here for this. So
Looks like a great
I'm
wall.
excited.
You're our first grant applicant.
Yeah. And I would ask Elmer, you did mention we need to tack on a little caveat there. So if you could maybe slowly and loudly, just because I don't know about you guys down here, but I have such a hard time hearing you because you speak so fast and you have such a low tone in your voice, and I don't have the best hearing. So if you could maybe say that one more time.
And this is my slow talking. So I would suggest that the motion is going to be, could be, the Public Arts Commission recommends approval of the mural application as presented by the applicant. So that would be the first
The
part of
first
that.
one.
And I can make that motion if you would like.
Well, you had said something about with the caveat that it has to have
I'm
the
sorry.
contingency that you had said about
Or
the
with,
approval.
yes, I'm sorry, with final approval of the artwork by the Public Arts Coordinator and the city manager.
Okay, by the Public Arts Manager and City Manager. And that's for the first one, right, not, or does that?
That is just for the first one.
Okay. So we don't need to tack on a contingency for the second one because that ultimately, it is the same. It's the same art, so it's already outlined in the first motion. Okay. So then, yeah, is there anything else anyone else would like to say? I mean, obviously, when we do take a motion, there's a room for further discussion, but we always do things in different orders.
Sorry. I'll just say that when this first came up here, my thought immediately was, I don't feel comfortable approving something without seeing the art, right? But I think, Elmer, when you shared the story or the backup of what happened at Block and Drum and the mural there, that's something to consider, right? The fact that this has happened before without the image. So I do believe that swayed the way I would vote on it. because I prefer to keep all situations equal, if that makes sense. So thanks for that backup.
Yeah, and we're responsible for approving the actual art, like, so yeah, that definitely needs to happen too. Okay, so nobody else has anything to add, please? All right, so then
I
at
do,
this,
I have something to add.
please.
I just want to confirm then, based on what Felina just said, and then you reiterated, that we will still have a chance to see this sketch via email
Yes.
and be able to have conversation through those means, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I add something real quick? The artist actually sent this to me. This was part of what she sent, of what she will use to compose it. I don't know if everyone can see it. And then that's the cursive that she's going to use for We Are the World. So
Is
that,
it possible to bring that around for us?
Yeah, do you want to come up?
So these are some more like concept,
Please approach.
please approach the bench.
Yeah, references.
References.
Yeah, so just for anybody listening in, our applicant is showing us additional reference or concept pieces from the artist that will inform their final design for this application, but it's not the actual design for this piece just yet.
Can I add to that? So I also felt the same way, that I didn't want to vote on something I didn't see, so thank you for bringing that. That kind of helps. Is this something, I hate to beat a dead horse, but is this something that next year when we revisit the application process, that we'll be able to maybe ask for, to see a sketch of the artwork?
It's definitely written in a way that if they don't have the artist identified yet, that they can still apply. We can approve whether or not we want to fund some sort of mural there, and then they either bring the artist and the artist brings a concept to us for approval, or we help them find an artist and then that artist brings a concept to us for approval. So it's written, right now it's currently written in a way that they don't have the art before they apply, but it does absolutely have to be approved by us before it goes up on the walls. So we can absolutely take a look at that for 2026 and see if we want to rework that. But like I was saying, I think we should at least adhere to how it's already written for now.
And I just want to say that the reason that this one, let's say when it was sent to me this week, that I didn't say, hey, can you provide some art, is because the turnaround is so quick on this. We received it maybe 2 days ago or yesterday or something, and we're trying to get it on the council agenda. So I think next year, we're going to have an entire year to get 5 applications in, approved, massaged, all that, and up on wall. So I think this one's we're seeing a little bit of rush on it. I don't think it'll feel that way next year.
And also, even if, I mean, I could understand too where you may not want to spend the time to create a full sketch at an initial application process, but being able to have these inspirations or examples of previous work, which we had, but being able to kind of see, here's sort of what I'm looking at, and all of that together will create, I'll create that final sketch. So
Yeah.
that's something that would be good to have in the future.
Okay, so if there's no further discussion, then I would take a motion to approve the application for the mural, and then we'll do the second motion separately. So I'll look to Elmer, since that is the one that needs to have the contingency language.
So then I would make a motion recommending approval of the mural application pending additional review of the artwork by Public Arts Commission members, and then in order for this to be considered by the city council.
And do I have a second for that?
Second?
Thank you, Shan. Any further discussion?
Just to amend, just to clarify, the motion at council will be the one that includes the language regarding final approval by Public Arts Manager and City Manager.
Can you say that one more time?
Assuming this is moved in an affirmative manner at city council, that would be the motion which will have the addenda that the final artwork is to be approved by the Public Arts Manager and the City Manager.
Okay. So we've got the motion, we've got a second. Elmer added some clarifying words there. And then who all is in favor? Sorry, guys, it's been a long day. All in favor of the motion to approve the application? All right, and no nays, so that motion passes unanimously. Part one, good to go. All right, and then the second part, we need to do another motion to approve the grant application. So this is specific to the matching mural grant program that we have, that they have applied for to get these dollars to fund the actual installment of the mural.
And you know what, I don't have on here, we probably should say in that motion that the grant is going to be for $7,500.
Ah, okay. And you already did clarify, because this particular property is in the qualified census tract, which outlines in the matching mural program that if the property falls within the qualified census tract, they do not have to have the match, which means the money for it will come from us. We'll pay that $7,500, but the property owner does not have to match that because they are in the QCT.
Correct.
So so just for future references, if we have an application from someone who is not in that, they have to provide a match, and whatever their budget is, let's say it's only $1,000, then we would match that.
Correct.
Okay. But at this time, I'll take a motion to approve the mural grant application submitted by Playa Cafe for a total of $7,500.
A second.
Well, I'll take a motion.
All motion.
Thank you, Jeremy. And do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Paulina. Any further discussion needs to be had about the grant application? Any further discussion? All right, so all in favor of approving the motion to approve the grant application for Playa Cafe, raise your hands. All right, passes unanimously, and
Thank you very much.
congrats. Congratulations. Thank you, we're very excited.
Thank you so much.
And I live very close to there, so I look forward to coming to the cafe when it's open.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, so thank you. And then just a reminder, we have no meeting in November, no meeting at all. We do have a meeting in December, and it does not fall on our normal week. It is on December 4th. It's still a Thursday, but it's the first Thursday, not the third. And then, again, just a reminder, if you could have your intentions to me by December 15th, earlier would be nicer.
May I ask why we're not having a meeting in November?
How's what?
Thanksgiving, yeah, the fourth Thursday is holiday.
So we just, okay.
Yeah.
You said something, Elmer, something about November versus?
No, I thought she said, I thought she had her dates screwed up, but it was in fact me who had them backwards.
Okay, so the intentions about 2026 from Paulina and Shan by December 15th.
Yeah, sooner would be better so that I probably should have written November 15th on this. That would be better.
I'm so sorry, can you repeat that?
I have here written December 15th for the intentions, but if it could be November 15th, that would help me get the application out in time.
I think that's
just a
plenty of
typo.
time, that's like 3 weeks-ish,
Yeah.
right, from now? I would recommend that as well. Let's move it to November 15th, and then that gives you time if we have to put it online
Yeah.
to get some new folks to apply if, well, not if, when, because Tom has already let us know that he won't be returning next year.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you to repeat. When did you say is the next meeting?
December 4th, 6 PM.
All right, at this time, I will turn it over to public comment. Bueller. I like to do that. I'm such a dork. All right, then we will, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Paulina. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Shan. Any discussion about adjourning?
Let's do it.
All right, let's, all in favor of adjourning, raise your hands. All right, we are so adjourned. Thank you. I'll feel adjourned. Thank you. Officially adjourned.
You're fine. That was good. Yeah. If everyone could check.